Savannah. We are going to do a restorative class this evening, normally taught every Friday at 5:45. So it's going to be the same class that you're used to enjoying at this time. We are going to start in a standing position today, just to kind of bring some energy into the body. I know a lot of us might not be moving around or walking as much as we normally do if we're not at work or anything like that. So I just want to make sure that we take this time to bring some energy into the body in a time where perhaps we're not moving around as much as we normally do. So that being said, we'll move to my mat, or we'll move to our mats, and if at any time you guys can't hear me or something crazy happens, feel free to just drop it in the chat and I'll try to periodically look at that and make sure everyone's on the same page. Alrighty, so first we're going to take a nice Tadasana or mountain pose, our basic standing posture. We're going to ground into the four corners of our feet, maybe lift up the toes and place them all back down. Really starting to ground in. See if you can tuck the tailbone a little bit, make sure we're not extending that low lumbar. We want a nice straight spine, and that continues to the crown of the head. Think of someone pulling you up by a string. We want to make sure the shoulders are rolled back and down, away from the ears. Hands are out by our sides. Let's take a deep inhale through the nose here and let it all out of the mouth. A few more times, just like that. Deep inhale through your nose, letting it all out of the mouth. Good. From here, we're going to take a nice deep upward salute. So arms come above the head. Hands can come together, or they can stay shoulders width apart. And we're going to find the forward fold. So hinging at the hips here, we'll fold forward. Hands come to shins or maybe the mat. However the hamstrings are feeling right now, we're going to give them enough time to loosen up throughout class. But maybe take a soft bend in the knees. Bend into one knee and then the other. Just shifting that weight back and forth. And we're going to keep that soft bend in the knees and move through chair pose. So just to kind of wake up the core, we want to be drawing the navel into the spine, hips sink back, still grounding into those four corners of the feet here. You want to keep some fire, really engage everything before we restore our bodies. Then we'll fold forward, finding our nice soft forward fold. Good, and again, inhaling for chair, sinking the hips back. And reaches up. Exhale, forward fold. One more time, sinking into chair. Make this the deepest one yet, nice and controlled. Exhale, forward fold. From here, we'll step back onto our mats, finding a quick plank before moving down to the belly, however you want to get there. Once you find yourselves laying down, we're going to move into Cobra. So the hands are going to be tucked right under the underarms. The feet are flat on the mat, and we'll push the chest up nice and bright for Cobra. Take a few deep inhales here. Deep exhales. And slowly melt it back down to the mat. Good, and again, next inhale pushes you up nice and bright for Cobra. Tapping into our breath, first thing, and exhale, folds you forward. From here, we'll take the knees slightly wider, toes come together. We'll come up on our knees here, so for a modified tabletop. So the knees are a little bit wider, toes come together. We're going to start to slowly sink the hips back for child's pose. So bring the bottom to the heels, and then start to walk your hands out. Maybe the chest falls to the mat, I mentioned before, you do not need any props for this class, but if you wanted to introduce a bolster or a pillow or even like a folded up towel, works really well too. You can introduce that under your child's pose, and I'll just demonstrate what that would look like. So knees are still wide, toes still together. And we just lay flat, letting the body sink into the mat. And if you have one cheek on the mat, just remember to switch to the other side. And if your forehead is in contact with the mat, go ahead and give it a little rock back and forth, releasing any tension that we tend to keep right in between that brow area there. Just start to relax the face, unclenching your jaw, maybe dropping the tongue from the roof of the mouth, letting it sit in between the teeth, finding all those micro muscles in the face. Good. From here, we're going to move back up to tabletop. So knees are stacked right below hips. Elbows above wrists. You want to find 90 degrees on all sides here. So finding that foundation, we're going to lift up the left hand and then place every finger down nice and wide. And same thing on the right. So picking up those hands, making sure our fingertips are spread apart here in our tabletop. And then we're going to move through some cat-cow. So for cow pose, the belly drops low, the tailbone rises. Chin is going upward to the sky. And then we'll exhale, empty it all out, curving through the spine, tucking the tailbone, navel draws into the spine, pushing the ground away from you for cat. Inhale for cow. Exhale, cat. Deep inhale for cow. Exhale, curve the spine, tailbone tucks for cat. Good, we'll find that nice neutral spine here. So a nice flat back. And we're gonna leave this left hand planted, and we're gonna sweep the right hand up to the sky. So a nice spiral twist here early on, awakening all the vertebrae in the spine. And then we're gonna move through thread the needle. So this right hand is gonna just thread through this arm. The shoulder comes to rest on your mat. Cheek falls to the ground. I like to play with the level of my hips here so they can be nice and high. Maybe we sink them back to the soles of the feet, whatever feels good. Maybe move through different heights throughout this posture. And we are going to hold here for a few breaths. So find that comfy spot and see if you can again start to relax the face. Let the belly lose any retention. Just sink into this pose. Still keeping with that intentional Ujjayi breath with the inhales and exhales coming through the nose. The signal to the body that it's okay to release and relax. And slowly with control, we'll come back up, countering that pose so the same way we started. That right hand is to the sky for a spinal twist. Hold here for 3 breaths. Deep inhale. Exhale. Inhale through the nose. Exhale away. One more breath. Good. That hand comes back to mat, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Left hand reaches towards the sky, sweeping through the body, threading that needle through the hole. And we'll let the cheek come to mat, forearm comes to the mat. Well, the face is down close to the mat here. It's a great time to hear that breath coming in and out of the nose. You can hear the prana, hear the energy that will lead you through the rest of your practice. Good, and nice and slowly we'll sweep that arm through the body, countering that pose for a spinal twist for 3 breaths. Good, bring that hand down. And we're gonna tuck the toes, bring the hips up and back for downward facing dog. Give those knees a little break off of the mat, pedaling the feet back and forth. If the heels don't reach the mat, that's obviously totally fine. We want to let those hamstrings loosen up throughout our practice, give them a lot of leeway, a lot of grace, not put too much pressure on them. Good, we're gonna look between the hands here, and we're gonna move through a low lunge. So knee comes to mat. We're gonna find a 90-degree in that front foot. And for anyone who has a sensitive knee, now is a great time to slide a towel or a blanket under that back knee. We're gonna reach the arms up high above head, opening through the heart space. We're just gonna hold here for 3 breaths. Good, hands plant, putting that foot behind us, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Really gracious bend in the knees. Maybe shake the head back and forth, yes and no, letting that neck really loosen up. And then we'll look between the hands, let that left foot come in between. The right knee meets the mat, and we come up for a low lunge, opening again through that heart space. Maybe see if you can find just a slight bend of the back here. Good, hands come down to mat, toe tucks, which helps you bring the hips up and back. Downward dog. Good, and from here we bring the knees down to the mat and we'll come to a seated position, whatever is comfortable for you, whether that's on a block or the mat. And we're gonna move through some lateral bends or some side bends here, just to open up the body. So we'll inhale, arms reach up high above head. Again, you're going to draw those shoulders away from the ears. So like locking the arms back in their sockets. And we'll tilt over to the right side, opening through the left side body without dumping into that abdominal crease area. We're going to really be using these side abs to control this stretch. And we'll reach back out through center. Exhale, drop to the other side. Good, inhale back through center. We'll move through that one more time on each side. So falling over to the right. Back through center. And to the left. Good. From here, we're going to move into bound angle pose, or butterfly, as it's commonly called. So the soles of the feet are going to come together. It's important to note here, the feet can be as far away from the body or as close to the body as feels good. So maybe find that sweet spot that feels better in the hips and the knees, because everybody's body is different. So I like to bring my hands to my shins first. It helps me get my shoulders back. My shoulder blades are drawing down and together. We're going to move through some neck rolls. So bringing that right ear to right shoulder. Letting gravity pull the head down. We'll drop the chin to chest. And then we'll bring left ear to left shoulder. And back through center. One more time, we'll move that again. So right ear, right shoulder. Breathing through that sensation. Feel free to bring the hand up to the neck, give it a nice little rub, a self-massage. And then we'll bring that chin to chest again, maybe rocking the head back and forth. And then the left ear comes to left shoulder. Again, maybe reaching up and giving the neck a little rub. And we'll come back to center again, checking in with that spine, nice and tall, as if someone was lifting up through the crown of your head. And here in bound angle pose, we're gonna start to let gravity do its thing. So we're gonna lean our chest forward towards our feet, but there's no need to like yank yourself down right away. Just kind of see where the hips fall, or the chest falls rather, since we're hinging from this hip crease. We want the hinge just to come from there, not the upper back. We don't want to round in. So we just want to let our body fall forward a little bit, wherever it may lie. Taking deep breaths here, opening up through our hips. And then maybe your next exhale drops you a little bit lower, but again, there's no rush to get there. And now we'll drop the head down. So releasing any tension in the neck, any restraint there. Letting the head hang. And we'll slowly come back up through center, using those hands to really help you up to a seated position. Good. From here, we're going to move into another spinal twist. Your feet can stay as they are in bound angle, or they can come to like traditional crisscross applesauce, whatever feels good for you. So we're going to move through a nice upper body twist. So we'll take a deep inhale. Arms come up to the sky. Again, drawing those shoulders into their sockets. Take the pinky fingers and slightly turn them inward to each other, so the palms almost start to go to the back of the room. Good, then we'll bring that left hand to meet our right knee. And this will open up our bodies slightly to the side. This might be just enough of a twist for you. If you want to bring that right hand down behind the sacrum, behind the tailbone, it just kind of helps open that chest to the side. But like I said, this could be just enough of a twist, or maybe this little bind behind the back helps open the body. If you want to deepen the stretch, go ahead and look over that back right shoulder. So gaze is to the back of the room. Sending our breath to that upper back, to all those vertebrae that connect the neck to the rest of our spine. And we'll pick up that right hand from behind the body, coming back through center. Arms are high above head, upward salute. And again, we'll find that micro adjustment of just kind of turning the pinky fingers inward a little bit. Deep breath here, into the nose and out through the mouth. Sighing it all away. Sighing away your work week and everything that might be holding you down right now. We want to end this class as light as possible, and our breath is what is going to get us there. Good, so now we'll just reverse that. So our right hand will come to left knee, opening for a slight twist. And again, this could be just enough of a twist for the spine, or if you want going to bring that left hand below the sacrum, right on the tailbone to the mat. It just helps open the body. And now go ahead and look over that back shoulder, taking this stretch a little bit deeper. Good, we'll come back up through center. We'll move through a couple more lateral bends. Just quickly over to the right, back through center, and over to the left, and back through center. Fantastic. So now we're going to move through one of my favorite postures. I say that about almost everything, but we're going to move through one of my favorite postures of pigeon pose. Pigeon is a nice deep hip opener. I know for some it could be a little too intense. For most, it's very user-friendly, very accessible. But if it's something that is not in your practice today, feel free to take bound angle pose again. This also opens up through the hip space. So whatever feels good for you. Since I'm not with you guys in person, I can't really see what is in your body and what is not. So we're going to move through pigeon pose. And how I like to get there is by shifting my body into plank. And then I'm going to bring my right knee to my right wrist. So I find that alignment, and then I let my knee come back to the mat, just like we were doing earlier in our low lunge. And here we are in pigeon pose. And from here, we're going to take it slowly down to the mat. Another great time to introduce your pillow or a bolster. If your hip space is a little tight, this brings the ground a little closer to you. But again, it's totally optional, and that can just be a towel or a pillow or a folded up throw blanket from the couch. Whatever you have on hand. It does not have to be these fancy bolsters that we're lucky enough to have here in the studio. But again, we'll slowly start to let the chest melt down onto the mat. And I do want to clarify, this front leg here can be as straight or as bent into the body as feels good. It's all pigeon, it's not wrong. So find that sweet spot, and sometimes the maneuvering of this front leg helps it become more comfortable. So maybe you tuck it in a little closer to the groin, and that kind of takes some pressure off the hip. So just play with it and see what feels good for you. I truly believe it's these home practices on your mat at your house, in the comfort of your room, that are what develops our practice into something really strong and really sacred. You start to know your body, know your own personal modifications. In my bedroom is where I started yoga and where I did yoga for about 3 years before I even dared to step foot into a studio. So really take this as a blessing that we can have these healthy bodies, have this space in our homes to just kind of tap into a practice that you might not be able to get in the studio. Good, and from here, we'll plant the hands, tuck the toe, coming back up into plank. So getting out of that pigeon on that side, and we'll move to pigeon on the left side. So left knee comes to left wrist. That's how I like to find my alignment, and then I let my back leg come up straight. Maybe check in back there and make sure it's nice and lined up. And then I slowly start to walk my hands down to the mat. If you've been to one of my classes before, I'm sure you've heard heard me say that we store a lot of emotion in our hips, or at least that is what I was taught in my yogic training. We store a lot of our emotions in our hips, good and bad. So opening our hips in times of maybe chaos or stress or even joy are just really important to really release those emotions properly. So take a few moments to breathe into that hip space, sending our breath and all of the oxygen right to our open hips. Letting whatever emotion we may be holding on to, good or bad, just letting it go and releasing. Good, and if you have the bolster or a pillow tucked under you, go ahead and push it out of the way. And we'll make sure our hands are planted. We'll tuck our toe, push our body out of pigeon pose, and we'll come back onto a seated position. I do want to try to keep our bodies upright until the very end of this class, just because it is a little different of a format than what we're all used to. I'm just going to get a little close and check in with everyone and make sure it's good. Okay, cool. And we're going to move through a pose called Janu Sirsasana. That translates to head to knee pose, which sounds a little more intimidating than Janu Sirsasana to me, because getting your head to your knee kind of sounds a little bit much at first. But all that looks like is one leg extended long. So we'll do the right leg extended first. And this left foot just comes into the body. It doesn't have to come to the leg. Just bringing that left foot in towards the body to wherever it feels comfortable. And we're going to go ahead and open up the ankle space. So we're just going to flex and point through the feet. Maybe rolling the ankle one way and then the other. Good. And once you feel like your foot is nice and warmed up, the ankles are nice and warm, we're going to take a deep inhale. Arms come up above head for upward salute. And we're going to start to open the body to the side here. So before we fold forward, I like to find a slight rotation of the body. So the chest is turning toward that extended leg. Once you find that slight rotation, then start to hinge at the hip crease. We don't want to round through the top of the back. So just hinging forward, letting the belly hit the thigh. And maybe the hand comes to shin. Maybe it comes to your toe. Wherever the hands may lie, just let them go there. And then we'll release the neck, letting the head fall. Starting to feel the stretch in the back of the neck. But we do want the fold to come from that hip space. And if the hands do reach the foot, then that's awesome. Maybe you want to give the elbows a little bit of a bow. It kind of helps pull you down a little more. But again, we want to let that head release here, letting the back of the neck open up. Good, and then we'll slowly come back up to our seated position. Arms are overhead. The body is slightly open to that open leg, and we'll come back through center. Good. We're going to go ahead and switch those legs. So left leg is extended, right pulls into the body, and we're going to point and flex through this foot. So pointing the toe down to the ground, flexing it. We have a small muscle just under the calf there. It's called the gastrocnemius, all one word. The gastrocnemius is referred to as like your second heart. A lot of blood flow happens down there. If you put your fingers on it, you might even be able to feel a pulse. So it's a really vital part of the body to bring awareness to. I know some of us are runners. So this is a really good part of the body to give a little self-massage to, a little rub, to kind of make sure all that blood is flowing down there properly in the way it should. Good, and then we'll keep the arms up above head here. Again, pulling those shoulders down away from the ears. We'll twist the body open to the side. And then we'll exhale, hinging at our hips, folding forward. And then maybe the hands come to the shin or knee, wherever they may fall. Just grasp onto the body. And then once you find that nice fold point, wherever your peak is at your fold, go ahead and drop the neck, dropping the head, maybe shaking it back and forth. Good, and we'll start to slowly come back up to center here. Bring the arms up above head, and then finding that center line one more time. Good, we're gonna bring our legs straight out in front of us. Go ahead and kind of bring the knees up and down a little bit, just kind of wiggling out any of the nerves there in the legs, getting some circulation going. And we'll point and flex through the feet this way again. Good. Maybe roll up the ankles. And we're just gonna find a proper seated forward fold really quick to just open up those hamstrings a little bit more. So again, hinging at the hips and folding forward. Again, really finding the breath here. Nice deep inhales through the nose, with a slight retention at the top before letting them all out through the nose. Good, and then slowly walking that spine back up to neutral, we're going to move to child's pose. So whatever that looks like for you, knees wide to the mat. Maybe you take a more narrow child's pose and the knees can come together. Also another good place to put like a towel or a blanket under the knees if you have any sensitivity there. And then we'll just sink back, relaxing the body into child's. And a great little modifier I like to do, because I know that sometimes this arm position can be a little bit much on the shoulders. So sometimes I like to take my hands and just put them on the side of my body. So that might feel better, that might feel worse, and you're like, oh my gosh, absolutely not. But just listen to your body and whatever feels good here. And again, if one cheek is down on the mat, just make sure you take equal breaths on the other side. Good. And from here, we're going to come flat out onto our bellies. And I know I say a lot of poses are my favorite pose, and that's absolutely true. I do have a pose that is not at all my favorite, and that is frog pose. I know some people love it. It just does not feel good in my body. But what I have found is half frog does feel really good to me. It's a lot more accessible. It's not as extreme on the hips. So half frog, just looks a little something like this. I kind of like to brighten my chest first, almost like I'm going into stakes. So I put my forearms under me, and then we're going to bring the left knee kind of like parallel to the hip, or wherever it feels good. It doesn't have to be totally parallel. And flexing through that back foot, and here we are in half row, just like that. So to me, this is much more accessible than both legs bent like this. So we're going to find some space here. If you have that bolster or pillow, or even a little blankie from the couch, you can bring that under the chest and just kind of lay down into this one. This is a pose that you can do before getting out of bed in the morning, before you fall asleep at night, just to bring some awareness into that hip space. And if maybe it feels really easy and you want to deepen it, you just bring that knee a little higher on the mat. So maybe it can even come a little higher than parallel. So the depth of this stretch is totally up to you, and it's all controlled by where our knee is placed in space. So the higher the knee is on the mat, the deeper the hip stretch. Good, and we'll wiggle that foot back down, taking our time there, coming back to a flat, our legs flat on the mat. And we're going to move through Cobra one more time to just align those vertebrae at the back. So hands are right under the underarms, elbows are drawn into the body, into the rib cage, arms stay bent, chest becomes bright as we lift up for Cobra. Deep inhale here. Exhale out of the mouth. Let it all go. Then we'll fold back down, letting the stomach roll down to the mat. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So knee just bends up as high as is comfortable, flexing through that back foot. And then letting the chest fall down to the mat. And just listening to your body here. If you want to add a bolster or pillow or blanket under the chest on this left side of half frog, then you can, or you can just do it neutral. And if regular frog is your favorite pose, then by all means, go into full frog here. And our asana, our physical practice, is obviously a huge part of yoga. It's what gets most of us through the door to start practicing yoga. But something that is often overlooked when we first start on this journey is how important that breath work really is, how important deeply breathing in times of stress or chaos really are. Sometimes when I find myself actually taking a deep breath, it almost feels like I was drowning before, and it was the first true breath I really took. So even if sometimes you feel silly breathing deeply in a studio of strangers you don't know, I totally understand that. But luckily, you know, you guys are at your house, so take this time to breathe as deeply, as loudly, and as fully as you like to, because I promise that will be the most transformative part of your practice. And we'll slowly come out of half rock on the left side here, and we're going to have our hands planted under us, and we're going to push our chest up into plank pose. And that'll bring our hips up and back to downward dog. Our last downward dog of the class, I promise. So let's give this one all we've got. Really put a sweet, generous bend in the knees. Maybe bring them low to the mat and then straighten them back up. Let the head hang, give it a nice shake. Good, we'll look between the hands, walk nice and slow, little baby steps to the top of our mat, meeting at our... And we'll take the feet nice and a little bit wider than our normal stance, about hips width or maybe a little further. And we're going to move, so you can stay here in forward fold, or if you want to deepen it, you can move into gorilla pose. So that is just lifting the balls of the feet, bringing the palms of the hands under the balls of the feet. Deep bend in the knees here, and just kind of swaying back and forth. Let the head hang low. You should really feel this stretch all the way down the spine, into the neck. Again, there's a deep bend in the knees here. Maybe the belly is just hitting the tops of the thighs, finding that contact. Good, we'll inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, fold you forward. Inhale, upward salute, arms high to the ceiling. Let's take a few deep breaths here in upward salute. Taking a moment of gratitude for our bodies, for our health, for our strength. Mountain pose or Tadasana might seem like one of the most basic poses in yoga, but it is really just such a grounding posture to really tap in to the energy of the toes on the mat, the heels in the mat, bringing that energy all the way up through the thighs, into the hip space, all the way up to the crown of the head. Take a few deep breaths here. Good, we'll bring those hands down by our sides. Maybe roll out the ankles on the top of the mat a little bit. Just get any last jitters out here. Good, and however you would like to get there, we're going to move down onto the mat. So finding a nice seated position. So we did bound angle earlier, where the soles of the feet come together. We're going to find that same posture just laying down on our back. So supine bound angle. Super easy, straightforward, but if you wanted to add anything to this in your practice, you can feel free to maybe put a pillow under the knees, under each knee, or something under the knees to kind of let them make contact with the ground. But again, it's totally optional, not necessary, just something if you wanted to make it a little bit different than normal. So we're going to move into supine bound angle. I like to let my hands walk me down there, nice and slow, maybe from under the forearms, and then finally down onto the back here. Maybe lift the tailbone a little bit so you can find the full spine in contact with the mat, even that low part of the back close to the tailbone. You don't want to be able to put your hands underneath your back. You want to have full contact. And again, the same way we did in regular bound angle, the feet can be as far away from the body, or maybe you want to draw them a little bit closer. It just deepens the stretch if they're closer to the body. So sometimes I like to start with my feet a little bit farther away, my little diamond I'm making here with my body a little bit longer. And then as I really open up that hip space, I might walk the feet in a little bit closer. So it's totally up to you. And once you find that spot that feels good, we'll start to find that breath again. Those inhales through the nose and out of the nose. Relax that space between the forehead, in between the brow. Let the eyes close or the gaze soften. Open the mouth here a little bit, just unclenching the jaw, leaving a slight gape in the mouth. And then close it. We're going to stay here for a few breaths to start to find that comfortable spot and just begin to let go, taking that same feeling of grounding that we got in Tadasana or mountain pose when we were standing arms high and grounding through the feet. See if you can tap into that same feeling through the points of contact with your mat. So the heels, the tailbone, the shoulder blades and the shoulders, and finally the back of the head. And just know here you are safe and here you're held. And it's okay to let go and let that nervous system relax and repair. Feel the belly and chest rise on the inhale. And feel them empty out on the exhale. And we'll start to take our hands down to our knees, using our hands to close our knees together, giving them a nice assist there. And then we'll kind of stagger the feet, so put one foot just slightly in front of the other. And we're going to windshield wiper the knees, just countering this stretch in the hips here. And then stagger the opposite foot and do the same thing. So just rocking the knees back and forth is all we're doing here. It just kind of levels out the hips. It's a hip neutralizing pose. Good. And then we'll bring the soles of the feet to the mat, knees are to the ceiling. We're in bridge pose here. And kind of scoot the feet in or the heels in towards the tailbone, maybe a little bit further if you can. And then maybe wiggle the shoulder blades together just a little bit so the chest is a little brighter. And now you should feel that little gap underneath the spine and the mat. So there is some space there. And using that space and using the lower abdominals, so think about that lock, the bandha that is right in the belly button area, using that energy to pull the pelvis off of the mat just a little bit, nothing extreme. Bridge pose with this lift here is great. If you have a block or a blanket that you want to put under the tailbone, feel free to do that as well for an assisted bridge. But just this pose that we're in, with this slight inclination of the heart over the head, this is an inversion. So an inversion doesn't always have to look like a headstand or a handstand or something physically intense. This bridge pose, you get all of the same benefits of inversions right here on your back. So breathing into this, lifting that heart above the head. On your next exhale, start to slowly place that back down. Vertebrae by vertebrae, let it fall back to the mat. Good. And while your knees are here, you're going to reach down and tuck them into the chest. Give them a little self-hug. And we'll let the left knee come down to mat. And we'll put the right ankle right above the left knee. So like you're crossing but sitting down. So the right ankle is touching that right knee here. We're letting this hip open. This might be the full expression of this pose for you, which is reclined figure 4. Or if you want to deepen it, go ahead and lace the fingers together behind the left thigh. So it just pulls this into the body a little bit, and we're going to flex through both feet. And maybe the grasp on the back of the thigh is a little too much. Maybe you want to reach forward to this top knee, whatever feels good. You just want to kind of stretch that hip space. This is also another great modifier for pigeon. If pigeon is intense for your hips, which it can be for a lot of people, this is another great one to take in class instead. Good, and we'll slowly switch out of that. So we're going to bring the left ankle this time to the right knee. So this is our figure 4 here. And then we're going to take the hands and just interlace them behind that back thigh, pulling it in towards the body here, flexing through both feet. Good, and from here we'll release that, putting your feet back down on the mat. And let's do another windshield wiper pass of the knees. So let the knees fall to the right and hold it here for a little bit. Just knees falling to one side. Back through center. And over to the left, holding here for just a bit. Good, back through center. Let's straighten out the body. Our legs are long. We're going to bring the right knee into chest here. And we're going to scoop it across the body for a supine twist. Bring the hands out to our cross position here, just nice and wide. It helps ground the shoulders into the mat. We want our shoulders to stay in contact. We want this hip space to start to lift and open up to the side. Good, and we'll start to nice and slowly bring that back to center, neutralizing that, straightening that right leg out. We'll reach down, grab our left knee, left leg, pulling it into the body. And then letting it fall across the body, opening that through that side. Just giving ourselves a lot of time and space here with this posture. I know a lot of people have low back tension sometimes, and I know that this pose at first might not feel like it's doing a whole lot, but the longer you hold it and the more often you do this, from what I've experienced, it does help relieve that tension there in the low back. Just kind of takes the weight off of it on that low lumbar, bringing everything out. And we do have about 10 minutes left of class. And if you know me, I love a good 10-minute Shavasana. So we are going to do one more pose before we enter Shavasana. This meeting is until 7, so we don't know if it will do a hard cutoff at 7. We're not too sure, but we want you to enjoy your Shavasana for as long as you'd like, and whatever pose you may like, maybe revisit one we did today in class or take the traditional corpse pose. But just a little heads up. Good, and we'll start to slowly roll that hip back down, roll the tailbone back out, and we'll bring the feet out long. We're going to move through Happy Baby, another fantastic hip opener. So knees come in. I like to take my peace fingers to my big toe, maybe to ankle, or maybe to shin even, whatever feels good. I like to do big toe. It really pulls the knees down towards the earth, but maybe play with all three and see which one feels good to you. Then rock back and forth a little bit in this. Find some joy, find some whimsy here. Maybe straighten one leg and then the other. Maybe give yourself a nice self-smile. You know, like a happy baby would. And then find some stillness here. Again, relaxing the face. Dropping the tongue from the roof of the mouth. And then we'll place our feet back down to the mat and start to slowly work our way out into Shavasana here for these final minutes that we have together. I'm so grateful we were able to navigate this little time that we're all having together. I'm glad that we could still meet for this sacred practice, and I hope you find the same kind of relief in your home and take a moment to really appreciate how lucky we are to have a safe space to practice yoga, to honor our bodies in a slightly hectic time. So just take a few moments of gratitude here and really carry that with you through the rest of the weekend and the rest of your Shavasana. And maybe you can spread that energy to somebody else. And once you take that moment of gratitude, I want the thoughts and the mind to only be focused on the breath now. So it doesn't have to be a controlled Ujjayi breath or any sort of deep breathing. Just find the natural breath and just notice it. And when the mind starts to wander, come back to the breath.